last week on Sold. Understand that dropping your price in the crisis as an initial first response is a bad idea for 50 different reasons. My suggestion practically is to consider these three things. But I can tell you, as things become more intensified, the less you know about the customers that you're working with and how much value they bring to you, the greater disadvantage you are. And not only from a competitive standpoint, but also from a practical one as well. Just because it's a crisis doesn't mean that you shouldn't follow up with customers that you haven't sold in the past. That was last week on Sold. This week starts now. Early in my sales career, I got a piece of advice that was absolutely priceless. And it was simply this, that there's no loss in a small profit. Now, don't get me wrong, I like making the big sales just like anybody in sales. But here's something that I will warn you about that you need to really be careful of in a crisis. If you're used to only making the big sales, going elephant hunting as I call it, and you let all the small sales pass you by, you may be losing an enormous opportunity, not only to keep your sales volume high, but also to keep your customers happy and keep them away from your competitors. So I would suggest seriously taking a look at all of the customers you've got, especially the big deals that you can't get closed, and ask yourself, by shrinking the deal, could you possibly get a sale closed? But you don't have to shrink all your deals. In fact, some of your sales you might actually be able to increase. Look, I want to be clear about this. Yes, I just said a few seconds ago that you should think about shrinking your deals. That's something that is a valid strategy, and it's something that can work probably for a lot of your customers. But at the same time, don't neglect the opportunity of upselling your customers, offering them more than you've offered them in the past, and offering them products and services that they haven't taken advantage of before. Look, that is another possibility for you to increase the sales from your existing customer base. And it might, quite frankly, save you some of the business that you're going to lose from some of the customers that are not going to buy from you in the crisis. Many years ago, I learned a very important acronym for people in sales. The acronym is CIF, and it stands for Cash and Fist. Look, when we talk about the idea of payment terms, I'm a firm believer in getting as much money as quick as possible. However, we also need to consider the realistic situation that we're in the crisis. And you may find that one of the only ways to be able to keep your customer and keep them away from the competition is to change the payment terms. But look, I'm sure that all of your customers would love more favorable payment terms from you. But don't give it away for free. If you're going to change your payment terms, make sure that the customer is going to trade you something for that, either a bigger sale or more consistent business. And I think if you do that, you'll find that there's a lot of opportunity for you, and it's a good deal for them as well. Now, this is a suggestion I shouldn't even have to mention, and I hesitate to, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that is you've got to be talking to the decision makers. Look, before the crisis, this was important, but now it may be your only chance for survival and success. Bottom line is that companies are cutting budgets. You know this, and I know this. You also know that the only person that's going to be able to change a budget is somebody at the top, whether it's a general director, a CEO, an owner, or one of the shareholders. If you're not in the habit of working with top decision makers, you better change that now. Otherwise, the crisis is going to be a very difficult time for you to go through when you're in sales. What about expanding what you offer? I would think about this from two different dimensions. Number one, take a look at all your customers and ask yourself, what does your company already offer that they haven't bought or they're not currently using? Doesn't matter if they told you no before, and it doesn't matter if you think it may not fit. At least ask. You might find some extra business there. The second possibility is working with another organization or maybe a salesperson in your market by offering other products and services that your company doesn't already offer, giving you a chance to earn more commissions and your company to earn more revenue. Now, of course, this may not work in every situation, but it is a possibility, and it might give you a chance to earn more money and have a stronger relationship from the customers you're already working with. And whatever you do, don't stop looking. That's right, don't stop looking for new potential customers. Now, I'm not suggesting you cold call, but what I am suggesting is you continue to network with new people that might be interested in your product or service. Now, I realize you might be thinking, come on, John, people don't have money right now, and it's going to be difficult for them to buy my product or my service. Doesn't matter. You don't know whether or not the person you're talking to has the money until you talk to them. And also, when the crisis does start to turn around, those are going to be some of your best potential customers to approach because you've already built a relationship with them in the tough times.